In the final installment, Andreka has to deal with making what she believed to be a huge mistake, leaving her to lose the love of her life. Not having Crucial was the last thing she needed amongst everything else she was already dealing with. But how will the troubled beauty deal this time? Without the protection she's used to, and so many people gunning for her and even the people she loves? Not to mention the men who now see her as free game. The other couples return as well, with one realizing no matter how hard they try to stay away from each other, it's nearly impossible. And the other, let's just say they've gone from lovers to downright enemies, while still vying for the bond they once shared. Enjoy this final ride with the Lunatics, their ladies, and the others who dwell in the hoods of Los Angeles. Every page is dripping with more secrets, more lies, more drama, and more revelations than before. Ever been listening to your favorite podcast and think, hey, I want to start my own? Then you need Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First, everyone's favorite word, free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Picking up at the end of book two was where Andreka was riding past Crucial's uncle's fish spot and seeing somebody with a gun pointed out, and her trying to warn him of somebody's shooting him. But he's already busting back and he's hit. I think like once or twice he was shot. And and Drika pulls out the gun that he gave her, and she starts shooting as well, trying to help him out. And she hits somebody and splits the shooter's head open. So she came in Skylar's car, and Crucial calls her and tells her to go home. And of course she's like, no, but he's like, I got this. Go home. And on the drive home, Andrika is berating herself for possibly, taking herself away from Cooper forever because she was not only at a shootout, but she also participated. And, she already gave him a shitty father. She herself doesn't want to be a bad mother, and which I understand, but it's also like, you're in love, like you can love your son and be in love with someone, and it's like, are you really gonna watch the man you love just get shot up and not do anything about it if you can help it? And once again, she's torn between loving her son and loving her man, and doesn't feel she should have to choose between the two. It's like you shouldn't have to choose between the two, but you are in a custody battle. And the things that the judge have been telling you is that they have eyes and ears on Crucial, or they know of him, and it's just like it doesn't look good for you to be with this man. So all you have to do is just tell him, like, I love you, I do want to be with you, but until this custody battle is over, like just keep it on the down low. Like do him like how men do women all the time. Like, I need you to hold it down just until this is over. And then, like it's me and you. It's not like you dating somebody on the side. It's just like we not gonna be out in public like that. There's nothing wrong with that. And so she justifies it as her helping the men she loves, which is correct. You were helping the men you love. So he meets her at her house with someone who is taking Skylar's car, and of course they have to get rid of it because Crucial is sure that somebody saw her in that car and they took pictures of the license plate. So their Skylar's car, the car is gone. He'll get her another one, whatever, but that car is gone. And then they get into Andrika's car and go to his apartment, like the little just hood apartment that he's expected to have. And that cherry hood nurse that they have for the gang
is there waiting on them. And for some odd reason, Andreka feels like this is the time for her to be jealous and watching everything that the hood nurse does and just knows in some way it's for her to get her hands on Crucial and want to be with Crucial. And it's like, girl, this man is literally shot up and needs help. Like, what are you talking about? And so when Cherry is done, she tells him, like, I'll be back to change it and look at it. But Andrika doesn't want that. She's like, no, show me how to do it and I'll do it because, like, I'll beat your ass over my man. And Cherry, like, even if she can't, let's say she can't fight, you just not finna disrespect me like this. So I would have said something too, because it's like, who asked you finna beat? Like, what are you talking about? I'm literally just trying to take care of this man. And you talking about show you how to do it because you feel like I want your man. Girl, don't nobody want this nigga. I'm just tending to his wounds, gonna make my money, and I'm finna get up out of here. But of course, Crucial condones this bird behavior and tells Cherry if she touches Andrika, he gonna slap her. And it's just like, you can't say nothing to either one of them niggas because they crazy. So let the king and the queen just have their way about each other, whatever. So Crucial tells Andrika to pack herself up, as well as Skylar and Cooper, and go to his house and stay there until she hears from him. Because he tells her, like, the cops finna be swarming, they finna be looking for me. This shit happened in broad daylight. And of course, people record everything. So they coming for me. They not gonna come for you. And once again, she's like, no, maybe if I adopted. And he's like, as your man, there's no way I'm letting you go down for this. I'll take full responsibility. Like, girl, get out my face. And of course, just like he predicted, the cops show up to question him about the shooting. And of course, he not saying it. He's like, I hope y'all don't expect me to help y'all out. Like, what do y'all want? So they arrest him for resisting. And when he's at the station, he does his best to distract the detectives, to focus on him alone. So they don't even think about, bring up, say nothing about that stray bullet that came from the opposite way of where him and the people in the car were shooting at. And so the detectives show him a video of him shooting, being shot at, and the two people being killed in the car, which one of them, of course, was Donica's baby daddy, because the shooter was also shooting. So he starts fighting with one of the officers who was like standing in the background, like security for the detective, talking big shit. And as soon as they start fighting, of course, more officers start coming in to help. And Crucial is hit with batons and tased. And of course, like he has wounds, so he starts bleeding. And they take him to the hospital, but he's handcuffed to the bed. And then another detective comes in and tries to question him even further. And Crucial's like, man, I ain't got shit to say to none of y'all. I need to call my lawyer. So the detective goes out and brings a nurse back in, who came in with a phone and some water. So he calls Ed, who is his lawyer, but Ed is working on Andrika's custody case. So Crucial tells him, no, that's your main focus. Stay focused on her. Just find me another lawyer. So after some time, this lawyer arrives and he looking all scared, like just looking at Crucial. He's afraid and, acting real jumpy and real nervous. And he tells Crucial that, it's not looking good for you, um, because they have him on camera shooting and he looks like the aggressor. And the lawyer says, but we do see a stray bullet coming from it. And this is the only time that he's regretting giving Andrika that gun because it could possibly cause her more harm than what's already going on in her life. And he flat out tells the lawyer, no, work work around that. Do not mention that bullet again. Don't bring it up. Focus on a self-defense, case. But that gun, that stray bullet that you think you saw, no, we're not doing it. And so Andreka receives a call from someone through social media. And at first she doesn't answer. And the person calls right back. And she answered with an attitude like, who the hell calls somebody through social media, you fucking psycho? And of course it's Crucial. He got a little burner phone to call her and talk to her. And he like, that's right, keep these other niggas away from you. And he tells her about the safe that he has in his home, and the code is already in her notes. And she's like, how did you have time to do? He's like, man, you stay worried about the wrong shit. That money is there, use it how you want, how you need it, and it'll hold you down till I find out what's going on with me. And so she asks, but won't I get in trouble for spending? Nah, wrong nigga. All the money in my crib is legit. Just like the bread you get from Bank of America. I ain't that other nigga. House is paid off, so you ain't got to worry about that if you want to continue to kick it there. And she asks, why do you talk like you're not coming back? And it's like, sis, your nigga is a banger. He has felonies. He had a gun that he wasn't supposed to have. And he is accused of a double homicide. Like, until trial start, he probably gonna be sitting down for a while, and you knew that. Like, yeah, Mariah wasn't about that life as much as Crucial is, but it's like when you in the hood, you know stuff and you can learn stuff. So it's just like, what what's not clicking, Steven? Like, and that's the one thing I hate about like hood books, when like hood niggas, or niggas can be a general term. Like they get with these quote unquote good people who don't know nothing, and at the slightest form of trouble they tearing up and they don't know how to act, and it's just like, what am I gonna do? It's like, you gonna hold it down, get it together, and we gonna get through this. But he tells her, like, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I probably won't be back, but you gotta promise me that you gonna hold it together. Like, open up that barber shop you've been talking about, um, or whatever else you want to do. But it's just like, just take the money, like it's for you. And so this upsets her, but it's part of the game, and he just tells her, I'm preparing you for what may happen. Of course I'm gonna try my hardest to get out of here, but in the case that I can't, here's what you do. So later on that night, Andreka hears the door open, and it's like the only other person that should be walking in this house ain't coming home no time soon. But it's Crucial's mom, Katrina, and her brother, Deb. They stopped by with groceries and a lasagna that she cooked. And Katrina tells her, Crucial called me and told me that he's going to be gone for a while and you may need some food. So, I'm here. And she's like, I got some stuff to do, but I'll be back later to talk to you. And, we'll finally, like, officially meet and finally, like, have a conversation. And then she walks out. And Deb waits for Katrina to leave before, like, trying to say some little slick shit to Andreka, like, I told you if you ever needed anything, I got you. But wait, you don't have my number, do you? And immediately Andreka clocks it. She's like, I don't know who the fuck you think I am or what you thought this was gonna be, but it ain't that. And don't make me tell my nigga on you. And he laughs at her like, the nigga that's been looking at me like a father figure ever since he was a little kid. Are you sure he's gonna believe you? And although she like plays it tough in front of him, she is unsure or uncertain if Crucial would believe her over him. But it's like, girl, you should see how crazy that nigga is about you. Like, can't nobody say nothing to him about you. And in the case that he didn't believe you, if you say something that he like try to play you off, then you know that Crucial ain't the nigga for you, and you can dip. Like, yeah, the nigga crazy and might not let you leave, but do what you gotta do. Cause it's just like, nigga, if I tell you some shit and you don't believe me, then that's really the end of us. Cause I'm not gonna be with somebody I feel like I can't trust and who don't trust me. My word is my bond. So if you don't believe that, then you like, what is this? And so two guys come into Crucial's cell trying to kill him. And of course, like the nigga is sitting up in the dark and he can hear them coming before they actually get in his cell because they're having a conversation before they get there. It's like, if y'all trying to sneak up on somebody, why are y'all so fucking loud? Even whispering, like you whispering loud. And so, of course, Crucial gets the better of them because if he dies, there's no book. Um, but not before he finds out that it was the Yobes who ordered the hit and only offered the guy $10,000 when he gets out, which wasn't for another 3 years. And it's like, this is the Yobes. They're supposed to be making big money, and everybody knows who Crucial is and like what he does, and all they offered you was $10,000 and you took it. Like, with or without a gun, Crucial is crazy. Um, but yeah, he killed. It was two of them, but he killed the main one because Crucial knew that he was the ring leader. But like, he killed him last, trying to get the information up out of him, like, who sent you and why would they send you, and you really like went on a dummy mission because that made no sense. So Crucial has another meeting with his lawyer, who once again tries to bring up that straight bullet, and Crucial hems him up against the wall and tells him under no circumstances will he allow him to bring that up. He lets him know that that bullet that he's talking about introducing, like, it involves someone that he is willing to give up his life for, and that's all he needs to know. So then Crucial calls his mama, just to check up on her, see how she doing. And Deb tells her, your mom went to the store, but I'm glad you called because there's some stuff that I want to talk to you about. So Crucial, like, what is it? Because the nigga already in jail, and that looks sounding like it's some deep shit. He's like, I can't handle too much more of this. Um, so Deb tells him, your mom and I went over there to drop off the stuff for your lady. Um, and basically like giving all this back information. And Crucial is like, I don't need all of that. Get straight to the part with my woman. Like, what do she got to do with any of this? And so Deb says, I don't know how to say this in a nice way, so I'll just come right out and say it. I'm pretty sure your girl was on some suspect shit. And Crucial is like, what? What the fuck that mean? And telling him he better get to explaining because whatever he's talking about at the moment gonna have some niggas coming at Deb head. And he's like, for me, I'm your uncle. He's like, I don't give a fuck who you are. If I was face to face with you right now, I would knock you out. Like, I don't believe none of what you're saying and explain what you mean. So Deb says, damn, I thought we was better than that. But what I mean is she was flirting with me for a little bit. It ain't the first time either. And it's just like, and I had to think back to the first time, and I think that was in the second book. He told Andreka, like, if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. And like giving her this look up and down look, like, he's trying to holler at his nephew girl. And Andreka peeped it back then. Like, Depp is a creepy ass nigga. And he says, I just figured I took it the wrong way. But when I dropped the food off, it was obvious. I don't know if she got a motive or if that's just how she is. And then, of course, want to bring up the fact that she was with Mo from the Yobes and now she's with him. And Crucial is like, his first thought is to go off, but he already in jail, so he got to play it cool. And he said, yeah, I do think about that. And, just basically don't say nothing else. But then we get a chapter from Depp who did actually kill Crucial and OD's father. And it's not because he was defending his sister's honor like people would think, because it's just like, damn, your little sister got pregnant by a married man and had a baby. But when he went over to Killian's house, basically like, what you gonna do with my sister? Because you get to come home to your wife every night and then you filling her head up with BS. Uh, Killian basically called him a bitch, told him stay in his place, don't worry about what grown people is doing, and basically paid him no attention and walked away, which I'm still trying to understand. Like, why would you ever walk away from somebody in your house? I don't care how big you think you are. Um, so Deb put the silencer on his gun and went into the bed, Jeanette and Killian's bedroom and shot him. and then put the gun in Jeanette's hand. Well, first he wiped his handprints off the gun, then put it in Jeanette's hand, and then hid it in her panty drawer. And Jeanette um was either in a deep sleep or drugged up, because the whole time that was going on, she was laying right there in the bed, not moving at all. Which I'm trying to understand, because even with a silencer, with that being so close, like how you didn't hear that, or motion, or even when he went to put the gun in your hand, you don't feel somebody touching you? So Deb goes back over to Crucial's house and lies to Andreka about needing some important paperwork from Crucial's office that could potentially um have something to do with him getting bail. And at first, she's skeptical, because it's like, I'm pretty sure he would have called me before you just popping up over here. So he's like, fine, you want to let that nigga sit in jail, whatever, whatever. Basically, getting inside her head, because if it's a possibility that Crucial could get out, she gonna do whatever. So she lets him in, and he follows her to the master bedroom. And when she comes out, I believe the closet, he's standing right there, and she's like, what the hell are you doing here? And he tries to attack her, but Andreka gets the better of him and pulls a gun out on him, making him leave. And when he gets out to his car, he immediately drives over to Yob territory. And the first two young niggas he see offers them $1,000 to possibly rape her if they want to, kill her, and then rob the house. Because he says, y'all want to make some money. I need y'all to hit somebody for me. And says, like, she's a cute girl, so if y'all want to do something else, do whatever y'all want, but kill her and rob the house, because there's some jewelry in there. And they accept. And I'm like, okay, yeah, y'all hood niggas, but y'all can't be smart hood niggas. Somebody just pull up on y'all saying, hey, y'all want to make $1,000 to kill somebody? Man, if you don't get the fuck out my face, I don't know if you wearing a wire. I don't know if this is set up. You lead me to get killed. Like, come on now. So Skylar calls Andreka. She was back at home with their mother, and she's scared because there's a guy there with Jada, and they're arguing, but standing right outside the door that Skylar locked herself into, and the man is trying to get in there. So it's like, Jada bringing another man into the house to possibly rape one of her kids. And I just want to say now, this book, I don't know what Shvonne was going through, or like what type of mood she was in, but there is sexual assault or possible sexual assault all up and through this book that happens so many times, and it's just like, what the fuck? Yes, it does happen. I'm not saying it's not an issue that should not be discussed, but I honestly want to say, like, maybe 4 or 5 times sexual assault or almost sexual assault happens, and it's like basically fucking terrifying, because it's just like, damn, ain't shit else to do but kill people and rape them. That ain't all hood and gang culture is about. Like, come on now. Where was that? Because it just, like, it threw me off. So Andreka rushes over, to get her, and the guy is saying, and she's like, move away from the door. And he's like, if you don't get your ass on. So she punches him, and that one punch, he running off crying in the corner like, bitch. And she gets Skylar out of there, and she tells Jada, Skylar is not coming back. And so Jada attacks her from behind, saying, you always thought you was better than me. You always thought you knew so much. And she like grabs her by her ponytail and hit her in the face from the back. And when Andreka gets her footing, she turns around and she whoops Jada's ass. She let all that pent up frustration she got going on with all her situations and just let it out on her mama, which she should have like been done. It's like, what, they slapped each other one time and like they cussed each other out, but she ain't really whooped Jada's ass like how she should have whooped Jada's ass, and she finally did it. So later, it's time for her and Katrina to sit down, officially meet face to face, and have lunch and get to know each other. And it starts off kind of rocky because Katrina let Depp get into her head. Like, yeah, Crucial kind of wild and he do stuff, but he ain't never got into this much trouble until he met her. And she basically regurgitates that same, exactly what Depp said to her. She turns around and says it to Andreka. Basically, like, you the reason why my son is in jail right now facing double homicide. And it's like, sweetheart, little do you know, ain't got nothing to do with her, got to do with his brother that you told him not to touch just because that's his brother. Not, not knowing that your brother is really the brother that ain't shit. But Andrika explains to her, no, we're in love, and we would rather go through this rough patch together than to live our lives separately and being miserable. Like, can't you understand that? And Katrina says, she understands, and asks her what happened to her face. And Andrika, tries to downplay the situation and laugh it off like, I got into a fight with my mom. And Katrina tells her, like, that's not a laughing matter and you should not be fighting with your mother. And she gives her a hug and, just like saying nice things to her that a mother would say to a daughter, and getting that type of affection from a mother figure, causes Andrea to get teary eyed because it's like this is what she's been wanting all along. And to get it from her boyfriend's mom is special. So Crucial calls Andrika and tells her that Lolly is coming over to move them once again, but this is going to be a location that Depp knows nothing about because he can just feel that Depp is on some bullshit and ain't being truthful about what he said. Like, he doesn't tell her that, but just tells her that they're moving, and like, that's that. And Andrika tells him that she had to pull a gun on Depp, but doesn't tell Crucial, like how he almost assault or tried to assault her, I should say. Because it's like that man already in jail. It'll probably be a whole nother problem if she actually said that while he was in jail. So Skylar gets quote unquote permission from Crucial to go back to school, but he has a driver to take her to and from school because the whole thing about them hiding out, it's like nobody needs to see y'all, know y'all, because any association with him could cause harm to them. So they just had to keep it on the DL. So it's just like when Crucial told her she could go back to school, she did. And in the middle of the night, Andrika is woken up by her phone. Skylar is in the hospital and has been badly beaten. So when she gets to the hospital and asks Skylar, like, what happened? Skylar stole Andrika's keys to Crucial's old house, like the house from the first book, like when they first meet and he takes her back to her house because he has so many properties, I got to keep him in track. So the first house, she stole the keys to that house and had planned to just have a get together, and that's where she was attacked. And what it was, I think it was before Crucial went to jail or right after he went to jail. Skylar asked if she could have a get together, and Andrika told her no. So it's the fact that she stole the keys and had the kickback anyway. Um, but it wasn't like it was a whole bunch of people there. It was her and two of her friends that she picked up in Andrika's Range Rover. They were just hanging out in the pool, drinking when six men with guns arrived. And Skylar tells Andrika that her and the two girls were sexually assaulted because Skylar just says they raped everybody. And it's just like, it was weirdly worded that way, but all I can think is that all three girls were raped by all of them, which is that is so heartbreaking. And Skylar tells her that they were Yobes, which it's so crazy. And when OD finds out that these young boys did this, because they just called them lower ranks, and don't really know too much, which I'm trying to understand. If this is your gang, and I don't know. I don't know gang culture, like how it goes, but I feel like you should want to know like who's in your gang or who calls themselves being affiliated with your gang, because he only caught one of them and didn't even know the names of the other boys who was a part of this dummy mission that Depp sent them on. And he kills the one that he was talking to, like, y'all really did this dumb shit. And he calls the hospital and only has to tell them Skylar's first name, like, she's my cousin, da 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 da. And when the receptionist asks, okay, so what's her last name? He doesn't know that. So how do you give out her information? I don't know. Hospitals, I don't like that. I feel like it should be more secured. Is you shouldn't be able to just call the hospital to visit. I don't know how to word that, but it was just so crazy to me how he only had to make that one phone call and get her name, her hotel room, and he's visiting her room. Like, that girl was sexually assaulted. How do y'all not know that this is the man who sexually assaulted her just because he said that he was her cousin? Like, make that make sense. So anyway, he goes to her room and threatens her and says, you think what happened to you this time was bad. I'll really make sense. And it's just like, she was potentially raped by 6 guys. What are you Never mind. Um, and then he goes to visit Crucial in jail, thinking because Crucial is behind bars, he's the tough one now. And Crucial still manages to punk him and make him fall in line. But OD tells Crucial that they need to team up and get rid of them. And Crucial says, I don't need to team up with nobody. I already got my own shit going on. I got plans for that nigga and I got plans for you. So don't think just because I'm behind these walls, I can't get to you either. All this time, Andreka has had Cooper, with her full time. Emily calls her and tells her to bring him back or she's going to have her arrested for kidnapping. And she thinks that Emily can't do that, but she actually can. It's like, girl, she has custody of your son. Technically, right now, you would just be, what is it called? Like an egg don't, like, you don't have rights to him. She's being quote unquote nice about it. So she has to take him back. And her lawyer, because, yeah, she called Ed, and Ed tells her, like, you really need to get a job because it's still not looking good for you. So, but she does find a barbershop and gets a chair, which booth rent was 1,100 a month. I said, damn. And the owner keeps flirting with her, but she lets him know, like, I got a man. Don't do that to yourself. Crucial has a bail hearing and is granted, which he was actually surprised, but it's for $3 million cash. So he calls Andreka and tell her that they're releasing him, and she's confused because she's like, they are? And she's like, yeah, when you pay, that's how it works. And she lets him know, like, yeah, I know, but I haven't even gotten there with the money. Like, I have the money, but I'm not there yet. So that lets him know that somebody else paid his bond and he's wondering like who it is. So he just tells her okay and hangs up the phone. It's Mariana, the plug sister who brought her ass over to the US and is stalking Crucial. And he, cuss her out like, you keep getting me at the right time where I don't have a gun on me and I can't fuck you up how I want to, but keep playing with me. Andreka and Cooper are waiting outside for him. And, he hugs Cooper and gives her a kiss. But as soon as he's like in the driver's seat and they're pulling off, Andreka asks, like, who is that? Because she couldn't see uh Mariana's face from the back. And he tells her no one. And of course, she's immediately upset. And I'm just like, girl, you get jealous at the wrong times when there's nothing to be jealous of. And I don't know, because Shvonne has done this before, where she'll write like the main character has nothing to be jealous about. Like, she's beautiful, but that's all she does. Like, as soon as her man is talking to somebody else or even looking at somebody else that's not her, she's jealous and don't want him to look over there. And it's just like, girl, what is going on here? And Drika leaves for work, but lets Crucial know that Skylar is there to watch Cooper if he has to go anywhere. And at some point in the day, Crucial and Skylar, like, they run into each other. And he's just looking at her, like watching her movements. And it's like, has anybody said anything to you? Or has anybody from the Yobes contacted her? And at first she denies it, but he just knows that she's lying and she's moving like kind of funny. So he presses her harder and she tells him about OD. And he's like, girl, why would you keep something like that from me or try to hide that? So he tells her, keep up texting, but excuse me, keep up contact with him, but text only. Do not meet him. Do not answer any phone calls. Simply text or nothing. And she says okay. Excuse me. Crucial takes Andreka for a little getaway, just the two of them. They go out to dinner, they have fun. And the next morning, when she has like what she thinks is a hangover, the receptionist at the front desk is like, or what is it called? Concierge? Yeah, concierge. She's like, you could be pregnant. And Andrika is looking at her like, no. But Crucial, of course, like, where can I find the nearest pregnancy test? And she's like, boy, you are out of your mind. I am not pregnant. Lo and behold, she is pregnant. But this worries Andrika because she already has enough going on. And she still doesn't have full custody of Cooper. Crucial goes to his mom, about what he heard about her brother. Like, I heard your brother killed my dad, and Katrina is having none of that. She's like, he knows how much I loved Killian, and he would never do anything to me like that. And basically, is looking at Crucial like, and don't you ever suggest some shit like that again. Um, and he's just looking at her like, yeah, okay, but I know what's up. So at the store, Crucial sees Donica and tells her to meet him at his apartment. And this is where I'm a little iffy because it's basically like Siobhan threw that in there. It's like we halfway done with the book and you just randomly throwing Donica in there. But anyway, when they get to his apartment, he lets her know that he recognized her baby daddy as one of the shooters. And how the baby daddy got over on the Yobes and basically had to run out of state. And all of a sudden, he just pops up shooting at him. So he knows that OD started messing with her to get to her baby daddy to try to put the hit out on him. And at first, she tries to deny it, but then says she was scared because OD was threatening her and Crucial wasn't talking to her anymore, so she didn't know what to do. And he tells her, that's bullshit. You had plenty of time to talk to me before, and you could have said something or you could have got word to me. You was in your feelings that I wasn't having sex with you no more and figured since you couldn't have sex with me, I could just die. And she doesn't argue that, she just start crying. So Crucial leaves her in the apartment and goes to his car, attaching a silencer to a gun and shooting her through the window, which is crazy. So the gang throws Crucial a welcome home party, and Jory's girlfriend shows up. And the gang culture, like, the thing is, if you find out that a former girlfriend from any gang, like if she was the girlfriend of said gang member, then she goes and sleeps with the opposition, automatically she's supposed to be dead. And everyone was trying to give Jory grace to do it himself. Like, that's your girl, she violated you, so you take care of it. Like, we gonna let you handle it. But he's dragging his feet and don't say nothing. Um, so he tries to approach her and she runs away, or she tries to run away. and telling Crucial that the situation is between herself and Jory. The gang has nothing to do with it. And it's like, girl, you knew what this was when you got into it with Jory. You know about gang culture and you knew what you was doing. So, this has everything to do with the gang. But now that your life is on the line, you trying to backtrack. And Crucial tells her that he wants her life. And because Jory has taken so long, he tells one of his young boys to take care of it. So while everybody is inside the club, they hear shots outside. And as they're walking past, they see her dead body in the car. So Andreka and Crucial are having like a birthday dinner that turns into a club party because they, share the same birthday. And Jory storms in there pissed. And at first he like shoves Crucial because he's upset at the fact that old girl is dead. And Crucial tells him, like, I'm gonna let you get that off because you upset. And if you want to fight about it, we can go. Like, it ain't no problem. And so Jory is a bitch. He gets a punch in while Crucial head is like turned like he really wasn't expecting it. And Crucial tells him, okay, so you want to fight. So he takes off his jacket and tells him, I'll even let you get one more punch in before I really beat your ass. And so Jory, swings again and misses. So Crucial just commences to beating his ass. And basically, like, they got to carry Jory out, and that's the end of him for a second. Crucial is throwing an annual basketball game fundraiser for the neighborhood that he always does, just to put some more money in the hood. Uh, the plug sister shows up and goes to sit with the ladies, just acting very friendly. Because she introduced herself to Andreka as just being new to the neighborhood and needing some help. So, they've seen each other a few times and have spoken. So, Crucial is looking at Andreka, smiling, and then when his eyes like shift over to the right, he's looking shocked. And so she looks to where he's looking and see the plug sister and automatically thinks that they're cheating. And so she's watching like both of their movements, even when she's supposed to be having a conversation with Chanel and Ayana. And she sees them like sneaking off to the side of one of the food trucks that's out there. And she immediately goes over there and yanks the old girl back by her hair. And Crucial tells her, like, let her go. So this upsets her even more. Like, damn, you trying to protect your side chick. And he like, ain't no damn side chick, just let her hair go. So she does and, goes back over to where Chanel and Ayana are. And later he explains to her who the plug sister is and how she needs to listen to him when he just tells her something. And of course now she's shocked and she's scared because girl, now you in some shit with the cartel. Like every woman he talked to do not mean that he cheating on her and want to sleep with her. And it's like for somebody who swears that they're confident in their relationship and in their partner, you sure are insecure as fuck. So now he's pissed and he's not talking to her because it's like, damn, now this is another situation that I gotta deal with. Because of course, them just walking away that day wasn't gonna end well. It's like, girl, you done pulled this man's sister hair. We could die off that alone. So Andrika goes to the house that, Crucial brought for her after her apartment got messed up in Yob territory. And there's been a murder. The plug sister, who she didn't even know lived right next door to her, so was basically stalking her ass. Andrika catches Skylar getting out of a black truck and immediately questions her, like, who is that? What was you doing in there? And Skylar tells her that it was OD and about the conversation how she had with Crucial, and that's what he wanted to do. And it's like, that is not what he told your ass to do. It was actually the opposite of what he told you to do. So now Andrika is upset with Crucial, thinking that he put her sister in harm's way, and that's not the truth. That girl was supposed to text that man and nothing else, and then just give that information to Crucial. Did nobody tell her ass to meet up with him? And so Crucial finds the guys who assaulted Skylar and kills all of them, which is so crazy because this old lady who's like lives by herself, she be in a deep sleep during the night. So he breaks into her house just to climb up to the roof. Like, don't do nothing to the lady, don't take nothing from the house. Lily just needs to get on her roof so he can see across the street into another house, and that's how he killed all of them. So when he gets home, Andreka is waiting there with her suitcase and telling him that she's leaving because she is really upset with him about Skylar. And she's like, that's my sister. Why would you involve her in something like this? And Crucial don't even say nothing. Like, don't even tell her. Like, basically, Skylar was lying on me. All I told her to do was text. She wasn't supposed to do nothing else. And when Skylar comes out the room, looking at him like with them little sad puppy eyes, because y'all know I do not see it for Skylar. I don't care nothing about her being green to the streets or nothing like that. I just don't like her attitude. She tells him, I'm sorry, Crucial. I told her that you didn't tell me to do. And it's like, no, that is not what you said. You said he told you to do whatever to get. Man, whatever. You got to read it for yourself. But Skylar is a fucking liar. Um, so he lets her go. Like, all right, you want to go to your house, cool. But he literally hops in his truck and is right behind them. He doesn't go in the house. He sleeps out in his car, but he's like at the house with them. So Crucial finds out where Depp has been hiding in the next town over 40 minutes away. So he confronts him about killing his father, being the one to send Andreka all those messages about him being with other women. So every time she got a text message like, your man been at the shop with Donica, or he was seen outside with Cece. That was him using I'm gonna say WhatsApp, but I'm pretty sure she didn't want to say that in the book. But yeah, using WhatsApp because it was from a different number, but it was still like traced back to him. And also texting the Yobes his address to rob and rape Andreka, but they actually got Skylar. So he has Lolly there who has Depp in a chokehold and says, well, since you like to text so much, he cuts off both of his hands. So Andreka gets a few text messages from Cece demanding that Andreka let her talk to Crucial or she's gonna harm Cooper. So Andreka jumps up, immediately calling Emily and cussing her out. It's like, why the fuck would you let that bitch take my baby? And Emily is like, girl, what is you talking about? Cooper's right here. And she's like, no, he ain't. Like, that bitch just sent me text messages of my baby and demanding, something from me. And so Emily gets up and like, oh my God, she must have took him while I went to lay down for a nap. She was just supposed to come and pick up her kids. But Andrika can hear Cece's kids in the background. So it's like she didn't even pick up her own damn kids. She just kidnapped Cooper. So she tells Emily, send me Cece's address and hangs up on her. And when she gets there, like Cece is still demanding to talk to Crucial. And it's like, talk to him about what? Like, what? He ain't gonna sleep with you. He threw your ass in the mud the last time he saw you. Like, what is you talking about? And so she puts three in Cece's head because Cece uh had a knife and she had it up to Cooper neck, telling her, like I'll slit his throat. And she was like roughing him up. So three to the dome, Cece gone. So Andrika gets a call from Chanel to turn on the news. Emily had been arrested in connection to the murder of her son, whose body parts were found in her backyard, and also for being a part of the escape plan that got Mariah out of jail. So And in the meantime, you know how Andreka and Crucial do. They can stay mad at each other for too long. Crucial apologizes and tells her she has to forgive him because although he was wrong, what he did was done with the best intentions of just getting OD. Um, so the shop that she's working at, the boss, Olin, he once got her to work with him for a rapper and like the crew because he couldn't do it all by himself. So that same rapper asked her to come to his hotel to cut his hair before like in a performance or a night out that he had. So when she gets there, it's only him. And she asks him, you know, like, where is everybody else at? He's like, oh, you know how they do, they late, but I'll pay you regardless. So after she's done cutting his hair, then the boss Olin shows up and Andrika's confused because she's like, you know, what are you doing here? And he tells her, oh, you know, he said I could ride with him and his crew and party with them. And she's like, oh, okay, that's nice. But then, um, what is his name? His name was Shock G, the rapper. No, it was Z Shock. Z Shock was his name. Um, he tells her, you know, I'll give you this money if you let me have sex with you first. I'll give you half up front for me and then the other half when my boy gets his turn. So it's just like, and she's like, no, I'm not sleeping with y'all. And Olin says, oh, if you won't do it willingly, we have no problem taking it. So they both start walking towards her, and thankfully she has her gun on her and pulls out her gun and tells him, like, you know, no, y'all gonna give me my money and I'ma leave. And so the rapper throws the money at her and is like, here, you crazy bitch. And it's like, I'm crazy, but you was about to rape me? Like, come on now. Um, so when she gets to her car, like she can't even drive, she's too shaken up. So she calls Crucial, who comes through and sprays them like Swiss cheese. It's just like supposedly over 100 shots, and it's a done deal. So at the final hearing, custody hearing, Andreka is awarded full custody, obviously, because Emily is going to jail. And Crucial found OD and killed him. Okay, wait, let me go back because I said I wasn't going to mention it, but I guess it would make sense. Like how I said about Donica, how it was halfway through the book and it seemed like, oh yeah, she was a part of my story, so here's how she quickly died. It was the same thing with Essence. I think it was like 60% into the book, and there's one chapter of Essence so upset because when she woke up in the hotel that they had been hiding in, Donica's dead body was next to her in that hotel. So she calls OD like, OD, they know that we've been staying here because Donica's dead body was next to me when I woke up. And I don't know how she didn't already see this or she was just playing a fool. But OD is just like, oh, word. And she's like, so are you coming to pick me up? And he's like, nah, I'll call you later. I'm out about like handling business or whatever. And it's like, girl, that nigga don't care about you. He had you out here in a throuple that you did not want to be a part of. And so to get her revenge or so-called revenge, she gets in contact with some lunatics who get in contact with Crucial because she's like, you know, I have his location. Um, because she had went in like iCloud and saw that he was at the hotel with another woman. So she gave that information to Crucial, but you can check out like on your own now. You don't have to check out at the front desk. So when they pull back up to that hotel, they're no longer there. So Crucial kills her. Now that's the end of Essence. So it's just like, what was such a big deal in the first two books? It seemed like she quickly just tried to end those stories, and I was just like, this is what I mean. Um, so back to Crucial finding OD like in this little stowaway house. He confronts OD like, where you think you going? And once again, for some reason, before people are about to die, they think you stupid. And it's like, oh, come on, man, we brothers, I told you that your uncle, and he's like, I know, but I killed him already. And Odia's like, no, he can't be dead. I need him to get my mom out of jail. And it's like, ooh, your mama fault. She gonna stay in there. And there is a gun like on the counter. And Crucial tells him, like, don't reach for that. But he reaches for it anyway, thinking like he got the one up on Crucial. And it's like, nigga, that's an empty gun. Ain't no clip in there. Um, so now OD's dead. Um, and Crucial is found not guilty of the two double homicides. So that's four bodies that he was charged with, and the possession of, unauthorized weapon was also thrown out. So free and clear of all charges, happily ever after. And what the epilogue, everybody's married, everybody had babies, everybody is so happy, you know. The only two people that were not married were Chanel and Quay, but that's a part of the side story. So in the end, sorry, Capri and Andreka had a baby girl who she also named Capri with a C instead of a K. Um, so the side stories, Lolly, which I hate that fucking name, Lance. He was just like he cried about Ayana the whole book just to get back together in the end and realize that he loved her all along. And she kept apologizing and everybody just made her out to seem so dirty. Like I can't get back with a woman who tried to play me, who made me look like a fool. It's like, did you really look like a fool or did you just not know that she was pregnant? It's like hiding a pregnancy, and it's not even hiding because it's like she really didn't want to be with that nigga in the beginning anyway, and really at all points tried to push him away, but he was just so persistent, and she was trying to figure out what was going on with her other situation. I do not think that that made her shysty in any type of way. But at one point, like he sees Ayana in the store, and because he saw her in the store, to make himself feel better, he went back to Leah and they started dating again, just for it to be like the same cycle of them before. So they broke up, and then he was by himself for a while. Oh no, I forgot. There was an older woman that approached him, like just trying to talk to him, and he slept with her once. Come to find out that older woman who told him that her name was Marie was actually Emily. So before she went to jail, uh, Lance slept with her once, and Ayana saw them out like at a restaurant, and he had to tell her it was actually the night, like right before she got arrested. Like, this ain't what it looks like. And she's like, you ain't got to explain nothing to me. We not together. But while he had Emily out of the house, Cooper was inside the house setting it all up so all of that will fall back on her and all of that would come out. So, he ends up being more of a daddy to Ayana's baby than Jalen does. And come to find out that his wife, her baby, wasn't even his baby. And I'm like, once again, you women who are hiding secrets need to do your best to shut your mouth instead of trying to be all up in the mix like, that ain't his baby. Don't contact my man anymore. Da 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 da. It's like, if you knew that that was not your husband's baby, you should have been meek, mouse, quiet wife, not saying nothing. Let them handle their stuff. You got the ring, you got the money. Shut up. But because Ayana saw her out at the store and the wife was still talking stuff when and Jalen did not want to get a paternity test. It's like he was supposed to sign for the baby, but when they was at the hospital, he was like, I don't know if this my baby or not because Lance showed up, but he wouldn't take the test. So when she saw old girl out at the store and she her baby dropped the pacifier out their mouth, she scoops it up and takes it to the lab and has it tested against her baby and found out that they wasn't brothers. And the only person that Ayana has technically slept with by penetration is Jalen. So there's no way that it could be Lance's baby because they literally did not sleep with each other till like the book was 98% done. So there was no way. Um, like what did I say? Chanel and Quay, like they used to date, but of course he cheated. He was a little kid, and they broke up, and she moved on and got with the guy who was trying to be mayor. Well, he did win and become mayor, but because she was hanging out with Andreka and the Lunatics, that stuff came up online, and Grant was like whooping her ass. And not to say that as if it's an afterthought, but the side stories, they really don't do it for me. I really be focused on the main characters. I do not care. But right after he won mayor, one of the women that Quay was messing around with shows up and basically airs her out for cheating. So he beat her like really badly and told her that they were getting a divorce, and he would put a spin on it. And the next morning when she wakes up, it is a story put out by him and his campaign manager, who he was also sleeping with, and she been knew that they were sleeping together. But she was just playing her part. So she gets on Instagram live, showing her face and showing off her body and how badly he beat her. And Quay shows up like, he really did that to you, don't worry about it. Boom, bow. Quay shows up to his place, whoops his ass, and then later on shows up with the rest of the top lunatics, and uh they're just basically there for more moral support because Quay is the one that kills him. Jory, like, he knew that he was supposed to kill old girl, but he never did it. And she came to him lying, talking about that she was pregnant. No, her ass wasn't pregnant, because when she showed up to the party, she throwing back shots like everything is cool. So when she finally does get killed, he feels away because he feel like nobody should have made a move without him. And then he meets another girl who later on down the line, Crucial has to be the one to tell him, like, you, before they got into the fight. It's like, you getting played by that bitch. Her name is Laurel. She's actually the girlfriend slash baby mama of one of the newer Yobes, and they using her to get to you. So you being played yet again. And when he goes and finds out that that's actually true, he has to shoot and kill old girl and admit to Crucial that he was right. And so, all along, he knows that he wanted to be with Tasia, who actually got with another lunatic. And it was finally going places. But when Jory saw her with him and saw how she wasn't really paying him no attention anymore, he kind of blew up her spot. He was telling Knox, because Knox acts like, what do you know about your sister, your girl's sister? So yeah, Jory was being jealous and a hater, and kind of messed up that relationship for her. And all in all, in the end, he knew he really wanted to be with her. So they got married and had twins themselves. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and I hope to see you back next week where I continue the Beloved Black Mayhem Mafia story. Peace and blessings.